Next one is classification based on season. All crops cannot be grown in one season. There is a different season for different crops. Like rice is grown during June, July, that is Kharif. Wheat is sown during winter season, October, November. So this is because due to the seasonal requirement of the crop. All crops cannot be grown at once. Okay, it's not like that. We can grow anything that we want. Each and every crop have different climate and temperature requirement. So based on it, the crops can be grown, especially the field crops based on the season. Uh, for understanding the classification, first of all, we need to understand few terms that are used in agriculture basically for different season. So first is Kharif. Students, the term Kharif means monsoon season. Okay, it means monsoon season. Okay, the next one is Rabi crops. Rabi stands for winter season, and next one is Zayat, uh, summer season. Okay, accordingly, the crop grown during Kharif, Rabi, and Zaid, they are called as Kharif crops, Rabi crops, and Zaid crops. Now, if we see the sowing time of the monsoon crops, it is obviously during monsoon time, that is June, July, and this crop is harvested during September to October. And crop like kharif, maize, um, maize, groundnut are example of kharif crops. If we talk about Rabi's crops, all the crops that are grown during October, November, and are harvested during the March and April, they are example of Rabi crops. Examples is wheat, barley, oat, potato, Bengal gram, berseem, cabbage, and cauliflower, and chickpea. Next is Zaid crop. In between Kharif crop and Rabi crop, we have a time duration. In that time duration, we can grow some short duration crops like black gram, green gram, cowpea. These are short duration crops. Okay, we can utilize that time period also. So these crops which are grown during that time period are known as side crops. Side crops is February to March. Harvesting is May to June. That is classification of crops based on the season. I hope you know you it's clear to you. Next next classification, that is based on mode of pollination. Student classification, first of all, we should know what is meaning of pollination. So ever study the structure of flower, but you must know that there is a female part of the plant, that is a male part of the plant, carpel and stamens. If you don't know this, but you have to know that in flowers, female, male and female part of the flower. Female part is known as carpel, and male part is known as stamen. The carpel comprises of stigma, upper part, stigma, and globe-like structure in female part is known as style, and here in this bulb-like structure resides over ovary. Ovary is very important because ultimately the ovary forms seeds. Now you can consider that very important part of the female structure is um, seeds. Seeds is formed in this ovary. Okay, basic unit of any plant is seed. So it's a very important part of the plant. Um, when you talk about stamen, we have male part, that is anther and filaments. These are the two part of the male plant. Male, yeah, inside this anther there are pollens. Okay, just remember inside this anther there is a pollen, and inside this female part there is a ovary. Okay. Now, from here, from this here you can understand this is the anther and anther. There are pollens, and the pollen are falling into these female part. Okay, this is the female part. That is po- pollen once transferred from anther to the stick, female part of the flower. That process is known as pollination. Okay, process of transferring of pollen from the male anther to the female stigma, that is so known as pollination. I hope what is the meaning of pollination, what is this process, please clear to you. What happened after this pollination is this anther combine with ovary and then form the seeds. You must know that these pollens are very important. If no pollination, there will be seed will not be formed, right? This pollination is very important process in any flower. I hope what is the meaning of pollination is clear to you. It's a act of transferring of pollen grain from the male anther to the female stigma. Okay. So after understanding what is meaning of pollination, let us tell me what is the classification of the based on mode of pollination. There are first of all, let us see what of modern of pollination. What is the classification? Students, the very first mode of pollination is self-pollination. Okay, as the name suggests, self-pollination means here the flower is self-pollinated, like how we have a male part of the female part in this in a flower. So the pollens of this own flower is depositing it into the female part of the plant. Okay. Here within a flower the pollination is happening. That is why it's called as okay. That is how this self pollination occurs. Such crops in which type of pollination occurs is barley, ragi, wheat, beans, gram, groundnut, sesame, and tobacco. Next one is cross pollination. Students,